Hi, I'm DK. Today we're going to take a look inside the life of Howard Schultz, the CEO of Starbucks, and what sets his Fortune 500 company apart from your local coffee shop. 1971 was when it all began. The first Starbucks was opened in Seattle's Pike Place Market, which at the time only sold coffee beans and ground coffee. Fast forward to 11 years later, Howard Schultz joined Starbucks as Director of Retail, Operations, and Marketing. After taking a trip to Milan, Howard saw something that would revolutionize the way we see and drink coffee. He was convinced that he could bring back the coffeehouse experience back to Starbucks, but unfortunately, the original Starbucks owners did not see that. So in 1985, Howard took his coffeehouse idea and opened up El Giornale, which is named after a newspaper in Milan. Only 16 months later, to have the opportunity of a lifetime, which was to buy out all 6 stores and roasting plants. So Howard did, with the help of a few local investors, he combined the 2 coffee stores in what we call today Starbucks Corporation. Howard is regarded as a very conscientious person. He is always searching for ways to grow his company, but with a social conscience. He mostly values the concern for others. By showing that he truly cares and is compassionate about helping others, Howard and Starbucks teamed up with Opportunity Finance Network to create and sustain jobs for underserved communities in what is known as Create Jobs for USA.
We're going to start off with an inside look at a current Starbucks leader, Lucy Helm.
Let me tell you, working with Mr. Schultz has been a great pleasure. Let's take a look back when he displays leader-member relations. In 2000, Mr. Schultz stepped away from the CEO position and stepped back in 2008. Mr. Schultz saw the company drifting away from its core values and mission. The community involvement and corporate support has integrated into Starbucks globally. Mr. Schultz treats its employees better than most. His democratic style is impeccable. Even hourly waged employees at Starbucks are paid reasonable wages and are provided health care. Mr. Schultz displays characteristic traits of a servant leader. He is dedicated to strengthening the community through its Starbucks Corporation.
And now in this next clip, I had the privilege of interviewing Starbucks CFO Troy Alstead, and we discussed Howard's leadership behavior.
We're here today with Troy Alstead, Chief Administrative Officer and Chief Financial Officer of Starbucks. We're here today to discuss Howard Schultz's ethics and how he displays them in his behavior. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
As Chief Administrative Officer, do you believe that Howard Schultz pursues a call to service through his leadership?
Oh, he definitely pursues a call to service through his leadership. Howard Schultz makes sure that Starbucks is a very community-friendly company by doing a lot of community service acts wherever Starbucks might be located, or even other places where he might be buying his coffee beans from, to make sure that it's a global effort all around. On top of that, he makes sure that his employees, their needs and wants are satisfied, and the customer satisfaction is at an all-time high at all times. He's constantly pushing to look forward and raise the bar in ethical standards. He's been acknowledged recently, actually. He was received an award for the Theodore M. Holova Award for Business Ethics, and this past March he was elected to give the speech at Notre Dame on business ethics for the Frank Cahill Award. So that's something we're very proud of, and something that shows that our company is not just about making profits, but it's also about changing the world in a good way.
Outstanding. According to Larry Spears, an expert on servant leadership, practicing empathy is empathizing with others and seeing them for their unique spirits. Do you think that Howard does this with his employees?
Oh, he definitely does that with his employees. Since the very beginning, Howard has made sure that our part-time employees, and that's classified as the people who are working 20 hours a week, are getting the same benefits that full-time workers are getting. They're getting the health benefits, and he has really pushed for that because he sees that kind of treatment towards his employees is going to create better organizational commitment, and that's going to create a tighter-knit community amongst coworkers.
I think we can both agree that Schultz believes that a company can grow big without losing the personality and passion that built it, but not only by profits, but by people. Do you believe that too?
Yeah, and I do, thanks to Howard and how adamant he is about this message. He's personally said to me that he pours his heart into every cup of coffee. And when you put that passion into it, that's what makes life rewarding. That's what makes work fun for him. And Howard's always stressed the idea of infusing purpose and meaning into one's work, and that's a two-way relationship that every company needs to strive to have. That with this idea of infusing purpose and meaning into his work, he's been able to maintain good trust amongst his employees, but they also trust him and he trusts them. It's a two-way street. Outside of employees, he makes sure that his customers, that he has a good relationship with them and that he continues to exceed their expectations, and that makes the customer come back, and that's part of a business.
Definitely. That's about all the time we have today. Thanks so much for joining us, Troy. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thanks so much. I had a lot of fun.
As discussed today with Troy, Howard Schultz has translated his personal philosophy into his business philosophy by treating his employees with dignity and respect. He does so, for example, with healthcare coverage for even part-time employees, flexible work hours, competitive wages, and stock options. He has landed himself on the 100 best companies to work for and has been awarded 2011 Business Person of the Year. Howard Schultz is an outstanding leader.
And now I'll take you inside the orientation process at Starbucks.
Alright, behalf on the HR team here at Starbucks, we'd like to welcome you as new employees to our company. And in order to get you guys ready to be able to actually work for us, we'd like to go through some of our core values here in our culture so that you know what to do while on the job. First and foremost, Starbucks likes to emphasize our innovation. We always want to be ahead of our competition. In order to do that, we need to keep improving. So while on the job, if customers want you to change their drink and modify it in any way, we encourage it. Our menu is just guidelines, more or less. You can change it so that to make the customer happy and give them the experience they want. And along with that comes attention to detail, in which customers visit Starbucks daily most of the time. So you can come to get to know customers and what drinks they like, what preferences they have, to give them a better experience and offer them a drink that you think would be more suitable to them. And also pay attention to I know there's short conversations with them when they're in the store, but if you talk to them and get to know them, that'll give them a better experience. That's ultimately what we want them to have, is to feel like we're a part of their lives and we understand them. Also, we want the desired outcome of giving the customers the best cup of coffee they can have, but we also want to do so in the right way. And as you all soon learn, every employee here at Starbucks needs to know about where all of our coffee comes from and how it's made. That way you can explain to the customers the whole process of the cup of coffee being made. And every step along that is important, and we need to be ethical along the way. And finally, you'll realize here that we are very people-oriented, and you'll see that even the part-time workers here get health benefits, and we're very accommodating to get them to receive all the benefits that they'd like. And in fact, we call our employees here are not called employees, but we prefer to call them partners, because everyone's equally as important, so that when you do something new and take risks for customers, you have no problem voicing that opinion to people higher up in the organization, because we all are more or less equal and all have knowledge that can be valuable to the company. And because these have worked so well for us, we have seen other companies in other industries adopting this culture to their own companies to better themselves and give their customers a better experience.
To sum up our culture at Starbucks, we have something called the 5 ways of being. The first one is to be welcoming. It's the foundation for producing a calm and comfortable environment. Being welcoming is where we forge bonds with our customers. The second one is to be genuine, to connect, discover, and respond. Those are the 3 key elements to forming a quality relationship with our customers. We connect by going beyond the formulaic greeting and going beyond customers' expectations. We discover by knowing the special qualities of each customer, and we respond not only by listening to what customers say, act upon what we hear and listen from our experiences. Third, we must be considerate. We look beyond our own needs and we consider the needs of others, whether that be our customers, our partners, the shareholders, or even the environment. Fourth, we must be knowledgeable. At Starbucks, partners are encouraged to love what they do and to share that with others. And by doing that, we encourage people to enhance their expertise in coffee and customer service. And last is to be involved in nothing less than active participation, whether that be in the community, the store, or for the company. At Starbucks, partners are encouraged to look around for clues and ways they can better improve customer experience and make the business overall in general. These are the 5 ways of being, and that's how we go from ordinary to extraordinary.
And by following those 5 ways of being, along with portraying these elements of our culture, you will be a major part in improving our customers' experiences, which our founder Howard Schultz was very keen on. And through that, we can improve even more and become one of the most successful companies in the world.
Thanks for tuning in with us today.
Join us next time when we discuss where Howard Schultz and Starbucks are today.